Hi there, it's your Buckeye brother Doug, and this is the Brother Buckeye Doug broadcast. Haven't been here this week. I'm dealing with health issues with my lower right leg, a lot of pain, a lot of bandaging, went to wound care. They weren't happy. Well, hey, you're just looking at it. You're unhappy looking at it? Imagine what it feels like to me. I'll spare you the pictures. But yeah, that's what's going on. So we'll get to the picks in a moment here. Let's just touch upon the Michigan cheating scandal. I don't know. You're not supposed to do what they were apparently doing, allegedly doing. And I'm sure by now you know what that is. I won't. They had a guy who was going to games and recording things and stealing signs in advance of games. You can do it in game, but you can't do it before games. They outlawed that in 1994. Okay. So not going to debate whether it should have been outlawed. But you can see if you're doing something that nobody else is doing, therein lies the problem. If everybody could scout in advance, in person, videotape things and steal signs, then it's a level playing field. And then it's like, well, who steals better? Or who changes up their calls and whatnot better? It's just like in the steroid debate. If everybody was allowed to do it and everybody was doing it, then who cares if Barry Bonds hits 80 home runs? Because everybody else is going to be hitting 40, 50, 60, and 70 of their own, if they're all allowed to do it. But when only a handful of people are doing it and everybody else is playing by the rules, you get what we saw in baseball 20 years ago. Gosh, are we getting old? So you can argue all you want that what they did, at least on paper, doesn't look that big a deal. Just like the impermissible visits and the hamburgers and all that. It only matters if it matters. When it matters, it matters. If there are rules, even if they're arcane, ridiculous, and stupid, and I'll agree with some of that. If everybody else is playing by the rules and you're not, because you think they're kind of stupid and ridiculous, then you're just being obnoxious and hubris. And no one would accuse Jim Hairball of that, would we? So anyway, when this thing, there was an ESPN story that hit last night. I was up really late. And I read it, and my reply to the story, apparently there's a staffer that has been going out for at least the last year and a half who is stealing signs, recording things, allegedly. I mean, that's the accusation. And Michigan knows the calls, the signals, the plays before they're run. And if you knew that, and and this is the part that becomes really murky, if they are communicating that during the game in the helmet, defensive calls, offensive calls, then you've got a big problem. That's where you vacate wins and your coach is fired and you go on probation for several years. Not saying any of that's going to happen, but so I wrote last night, this was in the ESPN story. A source told ESPN that the Wolverines have used an elaborate scouting system to steal signals from future opponents since at least 2021. So we have the 2021 season, the 2022 season, and the 2023 season, which just happens to be when they've gone 34-2. The two teams they've lost to, Georgia and TCU, would have been two teams they would not have been able to scout. Certainly TCU. They wouldn't have been able to scout TCU in advance because no one would have ever thought TCU would have been there. They played Georgia in 2021, and it wasn't a sure thing that Georgia was going to be there. Now, last year they could have figured that out, but they didn't play Georgia. They played TCU. So anyway, that's pure Michigan. Yeah. You know, there's an old saying, when things are too good to be true, they usually are. I think we have our answer, or at least our partial answer, to what's been happening. But we'll see. In the meantime, because their players didn't get all that much better. I mean, if you look at their recruiting rankings, the last 3 years aren't any significantly better than they were the 3 years before that. Now, the class they're working on right now is like 14th or 15th in the country. You know, just saying that the caliber of recruit that they've got still leans heavily to 3 stars. Now, yeah, so let's get to the picks. Penn State, Ohio State. Should I wait on that one? I'll wait on that one. Oklahoma, UCF. Go with Oklahoma. Navy, Air Force. Go with Air Force. Tennessee, Alabama. This is, I believe, at Tennessee. Take the home team. Take the home team. Minnesota, Iowa. I don't trust Minnesota at all. Take Iowa. Missouri, South Carolina. Take Missouri. Washington State, Oregon. Take Oregon. Texas, Houston, take Texas. UNC, Virginia, take the Tar Heels. Mississippi, Auburn. One is 5-1, one is 3-3. Don't trust Kiffin. I'm going to click on that and see where the game is going to be, because the home team's probably going to win. Let's see. Oh, it is at, show me it's at Auburn. So take Auburn. All right. So we're going to click out of that, go back to the picks. Army, LSU, take LSU. Here's the one that's Michigan State. Wouldn't it be like manna from heaven if Michigan State would get its act together long enough to pull off the upset? But chances are they've already been scouted. So, I'm going to go with, this could be one of those things where the Michigan players are going to say, we're going to show you that cheating had nothing to do with it. It's too late. Really, it's too late for this entire season because they've already done the scouting on all the Big Ten teams. I hope Michigan State makes it at least a game. I hope they make it at least a game. No reason for me to believe that. So take Michigan, hoping for a Michigan State shocker. Duke FSU should be a good one. That should be a really good one. I'm going to take Duke. Utah, USC. Gosh, USC is so bad. Their defense is so bad. Let's go with Utah. UCLA, Stanford. Let's go with UCLA. Arizona State, Washington. Let's go with Washington. Oh, I need to click the full scoreboard here. Didn't realize I was only dealing with rated teams there. All right. You got time for this? I hope you do. Where are the rest of the teams? The full scoreboard. Oh, it says top 25. Hang on a second. Let me go FBS all of the games because I want to do some of the other contests. How about Arkansas, Mississippi State? Take Mississippi State. Rutgers, Indiana. Go with Rutgers. Boston College, Georgia Tech, nobody cares. Baylor, Cincinnati, nobody cares. Ohio and Western Michigan take the Bobcats. They have one of the best defenses in the country. Minnesota, Iowa, we mentioned that one already. Iowa to win. Wisconsin, Illinois. Illinois shocked us with their win last week. So Wisconsin, Illinois. In Champaign. Gosh. I don't want to bet against Luke Fickell. But Illinois, I'm going to go with Illinois. It's probably a mistake. I'm going to go with Illinois to beat Wisconsin. I have no faith in that pick. Nebraska, Northwestern, both teams are 3-3. This one's in Lincoln, so go with the Cornhuskers. Pitt and Wake Forest. This one is in North Carolina, so take Wake Forest over Pittsburgh. Oklahoma State, West Virginia. This one is in Morgantown, so take West Virginia. Texas, Houston. I think I already mentioned that one. This one is actually at Houston. I still think Texas is going to take that one. Here's a good game. Miami is 6-1. Toledo is 6-1. Both are 3-0 in the conference. The game is in Oxford, so take Miami, but that should be a really good game if you just want to find that one. That's on some channel out there. It's going to be a good game. Virginia, North Carolina. We went with North Carolina on that one. Texas Tech's BYU. It's in Provo, so take the Cougars. Kansas State, TCU, both one's 4-3, one's 4-2. The game's in Manhattan. I'll take the Wildcats on that one. UNLV is 5-1. Their only losses to Michigan. Colorado State 3-3. The game's in Las Vegas. So I'm going to go with Las Vegas on that one. Michigan State, going with Michigan, but it might be a little bit closer than people think. A lot of top 20 matchups here, top 25 games. Clemson, Miami, two teams who have seen better days. The game's in Florida. Now, Miami is 0-2 in the ACC, where Clemson is 2-2. I just don't have a lot of faith in Miami. Go with Miami. Dabo. All right. You can tell I don't take this very seriously. Arizona State, Washington, we already made that pick. Yeah, so those are the games. My favorite new team to watch is Arizona, and I don't see them on the schedule this week. So what do you think? If you'd like to tell me who you think is going to win. Oh, yes, Penn State, Ohio State. There is that game. Ohio State, number 3. Nittany Lions, 7. They should be higher. Just because the game's in Columbus and not in Happy Valley, I'm going to go with Ohio State. I think the Ohio State fans will do enough disrupting of the Penn State offense and defense, and I think they will get behind the Ohio State Buckeyes enough to make this a game. Both defenses are very good. Both offenses are okay. So, I think there's going to be some defensive scores, special team scores. So, a weird score. I just saw Ohio State 25. Penn State 23. 25-23. I don't like that score. It's too close. That means a field goal, either the game is going to be won on a field goal made or lost on a field goal missed. 25-23. Man, I hope it's not that close. We'll see. Those are the picks. And I'm going to go check the TV, the Big Ten Network, and see how much they cover this Michigan story. Michigan has been their darling this year. It was kind of their darling last year. It'll be interesting if they take off the gloves or they do no doubt, as well, no doubt. That's Dave Repson. No doubt. Anyway, when it comes to Michigan, there's a lot of doubt. I'm your brother Buckeye Doug. This is the Brother Buckeye broadcast. Again, comment below, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. This is just nothing serious here, just all for fun. You're a buck nut, I assume. Thanks for joining me today. Go Buckeyes on Hairball.